This will certainly save us on shipping costs.
Isn't this a little unsafe?
Don't worry. Our motto is safety first.
Jeez, don't get too full of yourself.
Impressive, but if you ask me, inventory efficiency isn't enough to save us. If Heron Express doesn't deliver the goods, then they're just gonna sit around collecting dust.
I see your point. If you have the time, could you accompany me to Heron Express's Aurum Alley branch office?
Of course. It's just... I'm better with brawn than brains.
Mr. Yongfeng?
Why, it's Miss Secretary. And who do we have here?
I'm Sushang of the Cloud Knights. I think you already know the little girl with horns on her head. And this is...
Good to meet you all. Miss Secretary, I heard you made a bet with the IPC. And if you lose, you have to bark like a dog?
The word got out pretty quickly, huh?
Those Outworlders from the IPC are the worst. How did you get bogged down with them?
Right. And if the Merchant Guild pay back what they owe, the only one barking will be that IPC stooge.
We made our inventory more efficient, but the dock workers said we still need a way to distribute the goods. I was wondering if Heron Express would be interested?
Those dock workers don't want to take responsibility. And I'm afraid it's not our responsibility either.
Then who should we blame? The IPC?
The IPC said that they would handle operations at Aurum Alley and promised to give subsidies to the vendors. I suspect they secretly told all the vendors not to use the dock for logistics.
We can only blame ourselves for letting them get away with it for so long. If we can't pay back the rent, the financial damages will be manageable, but the reputational damage will be irreparable. If the Merchant Guild loses everyone's trust, it'll become an empty shell of its former self. And without the Merchant Guild, the IPC will have no competitors in Aurum Alley's business district.
The IPC wants to turn this place into a big logistics warehouse. By then, the food hawkers and used goods stores will have to move away.
So no more Aurum Alley?
Correct. The physical space will still exist, but the Aurum Alley we all know, its fragrances, its bustling tourists, will be nothing more than a memory.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What are we gonna do about the matter at hand?
On the logistics side, we can reduce costs by making sure the delivery routes are planned efficiently. Mr. Yongfeng, please allow our friend to try her hand at it. She has some skills that could prove useful in this area.
See? She's a quick thinker.
With these routes in place, logistics costs will be reduced significantly.
I knew it! You're the heroes who can help us revitalize Aurum Alley.
Now, can you tell us what really happened to Aurum Alley?
Well, Aurum Alley was originally the busiest night market in Exalting Sanctum. In days past, this alley, famed for its food and commerce, was brimming with aromatons collecting goods for their masters. But that prosperity has long since passed. Restrictions were placed on civilian aromatons, and new commercial centers began to spring up. It was like being on a gentle downhill slope. Everyone knew things were changing, but no one thought it was serious. When the Lawfu was moored for maintenance and trade with the IPC increased, a new threat emerged for the Merchant Guild. The IPC's announcement of a bid for the development of Aurum Alley. Their promises were visible, tangible, and extremely aggressive. When the gentle downhill slope suddenly became the edge of a cliff, no one could pretend to ignore it anymore. Both the Merchant Guild and Aurum Alley itself were in jeopardy. The contract for operating Aurum Alley's business district is about to expire, and the IPC's regional director has seen an opportunity. They orchestrated the dock debt crisis, and that's just the beginning. Meanwhile, vendors in Aurum Alley have expressed mixed feelings about the IPC. Some see it as a crouching tiger with malicious intentions, while others see the IPC's promise of high profits as a chance to turn things around. But now the chill is setting in. Everyone is worried that Aurum Alley is going to disappear. The Merchant Guild has to do something to help the merchants here. Therefore, on behalf of the Merchant Guild, I would like to formally extend an invitation to you all to serve as business advisors in the plan to save Aurum Alley. The Merchant Guild is tight on funds, but we'll be sure to make it worth your time. Why don't you talk it over with everyone first? Email anything.
I only came here for the food. I didn't expect to get tangled up in all this dock leasing stuff. Still, if you're willing to give it a shot, maybe Aurum Alley doesn't have to disappear. That's not true! I'm doing something right now! Persuading you to help us! An admirable contribution.
I really hope you can help out. I'm not worried about that. I just want to help save Aurum Alley. My home, the Xianzhou Yaoqing, had much closer ties with the IPC. Initially, people thought they were just engaging in a little interstellar investment, but over time, things changed. Gradually, the Yaoqing's younger generations began to enjoy the immersion produced by the IPC's entertainment division. Once they started wearing IPC clothing lines, you could hardly tell if they were Xianzhou locals or IPC employees. After their coming-of-age ceremonies, a lot of them aspired to join the IPC. To make it big, the architecture across the whole delve began to change. The graceful flying eaves I saw as a child became fewer and fewer, and the glazed tiles and fallow earth bricks gradually disappeared. Sleek, monolithic IPC buildings started sprouting up everywhere. Many of the Yaoqing locals older than 500, like my mother, will say the Yaoqing has changed. But they're not sure whether this change is leading to a better future, or if it's allowing short-life species to dictate their way of life. It's making everyone anxious. When I saw Mingxi being confronted by the IPC, I felt the same uneasiness. I've been around several lifespans longer than that stooge, but somehow I was still at a loss for how to deal with him. If our opponents were martial arts types, I could hold my own against them. But Aurum Alley's problems aren't something we can fight off with a sword. I want to help the Merchant Guild. I want to help everyone at Aurum Alley. Please, help me help them.
What do you think? Will you become a business advisor for Aurum Alley? Great. I still haven't discussed any of this with the president. Let's go pay them a visit. Miss Lianyan, please tell the president that I have someone who can help us with the leasing situation at the dock, and also bring Aurum Alley back to its former glory.
Well, seems like you have plenty of confidence. I'll go ask the president's opinion on the matter. Please wait a moment.